One second. Okay.
Oh,
Now we're good.
okay. All right. Well, welcome to the regularly scheduled Fire Protection District Number 4 Board of Commissioners meeting. We have a quorum, Chief, just to confirm, are we opening with the special meeting or the regular meeting?
We'll open with the regular meeting.
Okay.
Go ahead and do roll call, and then we can move to the public hearing.
Sure. Yeah, speaking of roll call, I'm Mark Land, Commissioner.
Steve Cooley, Commissioner.
Tim Johnson, Commissioner.
And Jason Vanderveen, Fire Chief.
All right. So item B is the public hearing. And I'm guessing that would be the special meeting.
Yes.
So we'll open the special meeting and the public hearing as well to go over the proposed 2023 budget.
Okay. So what I have for you, or what's going to come next in the meeting, is there's two resolutions, one for the budget amounts for fire and for EMS. Those resolutions were included in your board packet.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here really quick and go over the Fire District 4 budget. You should be able to see a Excel spreadsheet here. So this was done by Benita and myself. And you can see.
Chief?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way to make that a little larger?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Or a lot larger.
Thank you. That's getting better.
Is that better? All right.
Yes.
Sorry, I forget I've got big screens here. There we go. Is that good?
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. So go ahead and follow along with my cursor. So in the as far as tax revenue, this is the revenue portion of the District 4 budget. For fire, between us and the county, we will be estimate $1,598,607 in fire tax revenue. 418,533,000 in EMS revenue. These past year taxes are, we're just going to carry the same number forward. It's money that just kind of trickles in over the year. What it is if someone's foreclosed on a property or something like that, once there's a new buyer, all the taxes come due. So or people are just late in paying their taxes, delinquent, whatever. So that just, it comes due each year, and it's kind of an amount that just trickles in. You see the forest excise tax at $1,500 estimated. The leaseholder excise tax $500. The county levy reimbursement is $16,000, and that is a deal that District 4 has with the county to make up the difference. It pays District 4 back because the county EMS levy takes precedence over the District 4 EMS levy. It takes a little bit off the top of your EMS funds, so the county pays you back that difference. There's two districts in the county that have that pre-existing deal with the county, and it's because the District 4's EMS levy was in place prior to the county EMS levy in 2017.
Who's the other one? Do you know?
Sorry?
Who's the other one? The other
Glacier.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep. In intergovernmental service revenue, EMS, so it's the county EMS levy. So this is money. This is the long-awaited EMS or BLS reimbursement. And added to that is each district will be getting a certain portion of funds from the county each year. So those two numbers add up to the 244,000 that you see here. Investment interest is just interest off of money that that you have in reserves that's been invested. Sorry, these guys keep popping up here. And then the facility rental fee, you see last year is $54,000. This year it's $105,000. And I actually believe we might be a little bit more than that. But I'm working on a new agreement with the city of Bellingham on the training grounds and what we receive a reimbursement for the training grounds. And it will be upwards of $100,000. So
Great. Is part of that increase also reflective of the DNR station?
Correct. Okay. Yep. 24,000 of that is a DNR station. The rest of it is coming from the city of Bellingham. I actually believe that will be up closer to 120, 125, 125,000 in revenue total from leases or from rentals, I should say, for facilities at the end of this year. But try to budget conservatively. So
yeah, well, I was just going to say probably a better practice to err on the side of the low end. So thanks.
Yes. Yep. So these are the bond funds, and there's just investment interest in the old. Sorry, this is from the reserve fund here. So you can see total revenue in 2023 was basically 2.1, and in 2023 I'm estimating it to be 2.4. A lot of it is based on rental revenue, rental income, and then as well as the BLS money from the county. Back this up a little bit here. So what I did with this is the expenditures line. So kind of staying pretty much I just round things up. To me, it's easier to read, and it gives you a little padding in case there's items do trickle up over the year. So 12,000 for commissioner salaries, with the elimination of the district administrator salary. That doesn't need none of the costs associated with that position need to come out. So there's FICA and Medicare, there's L&I, and those are really the only employee costs or personnel costs that the district has this year. I went ahead and upped the commissioner apparel to $100 per person. Tell you what, now that I'm down, I can see Commissioner Johnson kind of straining there. So
Thank you.
So commercial apparel, I brought up to $100 per person. If that's something that you elect to do. Small tools and equipment is something that's been in the District 4 budget for a long period of time, and I just have left it there. Accounting services, that pays for the payroll services that the county provides. The election costs, I believe that we will have an election, or we will have an election in 2023, so we'll need to pay for that. Legal services, just keeping it at $6,000 a year. Audit fees I bumped up a little bit because of inflation. District 4 will be undergoing an audit shortly here, which is something we do. Sorry
to interrupt you, Chief. Do you know which position is up for election?
I can't remember, so I don't want to speak to it. I want to say it might be Commissioner Johnson may have to run this next year to do the last 3 years of Commissioner Andrews, but I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, right. That would make sense. So that doesn't include any, there's a separate line for like if we're running ballot measures.
Yes, and I'll get to that.
Okay.
Well, actually, sorry, that would come into the ballot measure would come into that.
Okay.
It would be part of that it would be part of that cost.
Okay,
But you'll see here on the next line, I guess it'd be line 56, budgeted the 50,000 for Liz Loomis and her team, as well as $15,000 for advertising. So any mailers, letters, community letters, anything we send out that way, we're budgeted for. No increases in cost of insurance, professional organization dues. All professional organizations have kind of risen their rates since COVID. I don't know if you're experiencing that in the private sector, but initially what it was is they said they couldn't get together for conventions and things or educational opportunities where they raised money. So they cranked up their rates to make it live through COVID. And they've never, now that they have get-togethers again, they've never turned anything, dialed it back. So organizations that you are part of is actually Whatcom County Fire Chiefs, which I represent you on that board, and then Whatcom County Fire Commissioners Board as well, which you all are a part of. And that's something, if one of you wants to attend that group, it would be, the more commissioners we can get involved, the better. I do attend the commissioner meetings every once in a while, and it would be great to have one of you there. And then also increased the tuition, lodging, meals, that kind of thing for commissioner education, and bumped it up to 1,000 per. The commissioner conference this year will be at Tulalip Casino just down the road in I-5. And so hopefully one or more of you can get to some of those educational opportunities, and it's a good time to network and just meet people, stuff like that. Then the other big piece at the bottom here is the interagency payments to North Whatcom Fire. With sharpening our pencil and the work that the firefighters are doing, and that's truly where the credit has to go. District 4's transport revenue is very high, and that is what's keeping your payments low, if that makes any sense. So what happens is we parse out the transports. District 4 and District 21 are kept separate from each other. District 21 takes in all the money. This is per the agreement between the two districts. District 21 takes in all the money. The money is counted as separate. But District 21, it goes into basically District 21's books. Where District 1 or District 4 then receives a credit in the form of, when I do the budget this year, I said that it's my belief that District 20 or District 4 is going to receive $350,000 in transport revenue. That's what I budgeted. Now you're already at $350,000 this year. Like I said, I try to be conservative on the revenue estimates. So that's what's keeping your revenue, or your payments to North Whatcom just below what they were last year. Now, what happens if, like in this year, the District 4 transport revenue is going to exceed what I budgeted that revenue to be. So on your first quarter, you'll receive a credit. We split this 2.287 into 4 payments. The first payment will be a little bit less than 25%, because you'll receive the remainder of the credit once we have all the transports. What do you call it? Reconciled. Thank you. Once all the transports are reconciled, the invoice the District 4 receives for the first quarter payment will have the first quarter payment minus that reconciled amount. So any overage that came in over what I budgeted, it will reduce that first quarter payment by that much, so that District 4 gets 100% credit for all of the transports that originate or are done by Station 12. So I'm sure that's clear as mud. Listening to my own explanation, I'm confused. But know that every transport that's done in District 4 or by Station 12 is credited to District 4 And that number knocks down the quarterly payment. And that's why you're seeing it almost even with last year because of the increase in transport revenue.
Understood. Thanks for the explanation.
So, excuse me. So here, what you can see here is revenue versus expenditures, budgeted expenditures. So last year, you might remember that you were budgeted to be over. You were budgeted to have to take from reserves. That ultimately did not happen. But you were budgeted to take from reserves. This year, I budgeted you with $4,154 in the black, I guess, or in the red. No, black, in the black. You're good. You're positive for $4,000. So I will send this out to you now that I didn't want to send it to you without an explanation. That tends to, spreadsheets with no words behind them tend to create ulcers, at least for me. And so I wanted to present this to you first. Yeah, then I'll send you an electronic copy as well. Do you have any questions about what I just talked about? I know it's a lot to take in a short period of time.
I don't have any questions, just an observation. I thought it was significant that last year's budgeted amount for our only designated employee is almost a wash with hiring the consultant and the anticipated educational outreach program we're going to be starting. So that was interesting to me. It's sort of in my little pea brain, the way it works, it's kind of one for the other, and happy to see that it wasn't any new costs, so to speak.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
No, I think this is pretty clear. Thank you very much for all the hard work in putting this together. I'm sure it's not fun, but it makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, I got to give it to Benita. She helped me with this quite a bit as well. So
thank you both. Yes.
No questions for me either. It looks great. Thank you.
My honest wish is that I could turn the District 21 budget to be this easy. That would be
So just for process here, I'm looking at the resolution, and I'm also looking at our agenda, and 2206 on the agenda says it's adopting the 2023 budget, but the resolution says it's the regular fire property tax for 2022. So I'm wondering if I'm missing something.
No, it has to do with the way the county, their wording.
Okay.
It's their
By the attorney.
Yeah, these are written by the attorney, and it's
Okay.
it's the county's and it's government wording. I don't know why they do that way. It's one of the remaining mysteries.
Okay.
Mark,
Nope, all good.
would you point out?
Is there anybody? Oh, I'm sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Sorry, would you repeat that one more time, Mark, what you're noticing? I'm not tracking with you.
So just in our agenda packet, it's page 2.
Yep.
And under the regular Board of Commissioners meeting, item number D, 2023 budget, the first resolution 2022-06, it says it's adopting the 2023 budget / fire. And then when I'm looking at the resolution 2022-6, it's just titled or headed differently. It's called the regular fire property tax for 2022. And And that I was just looking for clarification on that.
And then if you go into the meat of the, it's interesting, once you go into the meat of the resolution, it talks about for the calendar year, you know, for the calendar year. And that's what I guess I need an attorney to tell. And then later on, if you go to if you look at point number 1 or, paragraph 1, it talks about 2023. And then you go to paragraph 4 and it talks again about being 2022.
Right.
Yep.
And it just,
That threw me as well.
I don't,
Well, I did see the invoice that, the attorney reviewed it, and you just told us as well. So who am I to question attorneys? Is there anybody online or in the queue that wants to comment on this particular portion of the budget process?
no, sir. Nope. Let me double check my email box here real quick. There's nobody in the queue on. Nope. No
Okay.
emails, nobody on Zoom.
Okay. Well, would one of the other commissioners?
First, we need to close the public hearing.
Oh, and would we do that then?
You could, close the public hearing and then you take on the resolution. Then you bring up the resolutions and vote on them in the regular meeting.
So then do we reopen the public or the special meeting for the second resolution, the 07 one?
No, we did both. I covered both fire and EMS budgets in this one.
Okay. Okay. All right, then. I guess, sorry for all my awkwardness.
No, that's fine.
So then if there's no other business in the special meeting, we would close that. And then we would open the regular Board of Commissioners meeting and look to introduce a motion to adopt this resolution 2022-6. And it's usually been customary to, when we do resolutions, well, these are written a little bit differently. I don't know, Chief, do we need to read word for word? Or can we, do the title and then the end?
I think you can do the title.
Okay.
You can do the title and then I would read paragraph 4. Paragraph 4.
Okay. Well, if one of you guys want to volunteer to get that process going.
Sure, I can do that. So do I need to start with a motion and then read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And are we doing 22-06 and 07, right?
I think we should probably do them separately.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I make a motion that we pass resolution 2022-06, Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4's regular fire property tax for 2022, oddly enough. Be it resolved by the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 as follows. And then, Chief, you recommended we read paragraph 4?
Yes.
Okay. And that's that the Honorable County Council of Whatcom County, Washington be and are hereby requested to make a levy for year 2022 for said Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 of $1,598,606.57. And that would be, if we agree, that would be adopted at a meeting of the Commissioners today, the 12th of December, 2022. Is that sufficient, gentlemen?
Yes, thank you. Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
It was moved and seconded that we adopt the resolution 2022-6. Is there any other discussion on that?
I have one question, or just perhaps we can clarify this. I'm looking at the resolution that Commissioner Cooley just made the motion on. And I was just wondering if we knew why there was a difference in the assessed value on this resolution in paragraph 1 versus the assessed value for the properties in the district in the second resolution.
When a special election or when a levy or a bond is passed, those properties are in it until it expires. So even if the districts as Bellingham as Bellingham annexes portions of District 4, there could be properties that are left in that kind of opt in to paying in the EMS levy until the EMS levy expires or goes away. So that's why you'll see a difference in the property tax. Now, if it's the other way around, it could be the exact same thing where they're, as District 4, it should always be the other way around. It should always be that first way I talked about.
So it looks like it's less for the fire district.
Yes, it would be less for fire.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yep. And that's why, because people opted into the EMS levy, and those properties are still, no matter the owner, the property is still saddled with that levy until it expires or goes away.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, Chief.
Yep.
Great. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And the motion carries. So in similar fashion, would there be a motion to adopt resolution 2022-7?
Tim, you want me to do it or you want to go? You can go
I'd be
ahead.
happy to make that motion, if you please. I would move to adopt resolution number 2022-07, which is the EMS property tax levy 2022. Be it resolved by the Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District 4 as follows: that the Honorable County Council, Whatcom County, Washington, be and hereby requested to make a levy for year 2022 for said Whatcom Fire Protection District 4 of $418,532.74.
I second that motion.
It was moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 2022-07. Is there any other discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay. So that takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of the consent agenda. All matters within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Board of Commissioners for review or considered routine and will be enacted by one motion of the board with no separate discussion. If a separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request. And included in the consent agenda are the meeting minutes from the November 14, 2022 public hearing, the staff reports, the financial reports, the vouchers, payroll, and benefits, which include the monthly expenditure payroll voucher in the amount of $512 and the monthly expense voucher in the amount of $576,641.25 for a total expense fund revenue for November, $125,441.11. Total expenditures for December, $577,153.25. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I would move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
And I'd second that motion.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Anything in there that needs to be pulled out or clarified?
No.
No.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Mayor, if I could-
Unfinished- Yes, sir.
Just real quick, I wanted to, in my chief's report, I talked about District 4 and kind of the Liz Loomis project or the levy project. And one thing that we will need to do collectively is between now and the first week in January is come up with, if you'd like to have 3 citizen representatives, one from kind of the 3 geographical locations that I talked about off Smith Road, kind of that the rural part, the suburban part, right where Commissioner Cooley lives, and then that south on North Shore, kind of the area that was affected by Station 11. I don't know if you gentlemen have anybody in mind or could refer anybody to me. I'm happy to, if you have a relationship with them, it'd be great if you would reach out and ask if they would be interested in being part of a, kind of a communications team that's going to come up with, kind of a test base for the message and maybe help craft some of the messages that we send out to the citizens. But it would, I don't live in the area. It would be wonderful if you guys knew some people we could start getting on the team.
Would the Eagle Ridge neighborhood be an area that you're talking about?
Yeah, kind of that, that would be kind of the Bellingham suburban kind of, I mean, I know they may not think of them quite like that, but they're kind of in that area right there by Station 12.
I mean, I have somebody probably in Eagle Ridge that might be willing, but I don't know if that's south enough for you.
It might be. Let me check on a map. I'll talk with you offline and maybe get their address and look and see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be happy to think I can probably come up with a person or two. So I'll consider that. Yeah.
So the Station 11 area, that's kind of Agate Bay, correct?
Agate Bay, correct. Yep.
Okay.
So, and I'll email you guys about that as well. I just wanted to bring it up in the meeting. So there were we're working on that. So
Great.
All right. Any other unfinished business? So the new business would be just the resolution on the meeting, officially adopt our meeting schedule for
yes,
2023. And it pretty much looks like it's just, what we're currently doing. Is that going to work for everybody the way that resolution and those dates?
Yes.
I have one conflict with the March date. Other than that, it looks really good on my calendar.
So what we can do is, as we get closer, scheduling things happen all the time. We would just need to, if we were going to reschedule the meeting so that we could all be present, we would just need to make sure we give enough time to post the public notice. Or again, depending on the circumstances and what's on the agenda, if 2 of us are there, it's a quorum. So I guess I'm just talking that through to see if we could still adopt the resolution as it was written.
and there's there's a couple things also we have to, as we deal with the county getting vouchers in and payroll in and all those things like that, we have to kind of be aware of those days, and that's how the calendar was built, so that just for staff, we're trying to run 2 meetings in the same week.
Yeah.
So because there's a lot of redundancy that goes into the board packets, and then as well being cognizant of those county timelines.
So we would consider changing it carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's just a couple of things we got to look at, and the the option always exists to jump in online as well if we're not, you're not in the Mediterranean or somewhere really cool like that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Would one of you considering making a motion to adopt the resolution 2022-08?
before we do that, I just
Sure.
was curious, is this something just requires 2 commissioners approval on? So I noticed it was just Commissioners Land and Cooley on the resolution.
Oh, nope, there should be 3.
Yeah.
Let me double check. No, this would take all 3 commissioners.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, just a
Oh, look at
point of
that.
order, it would just take a majority vote.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you pointing out there's a glitch on the signature page? Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tim's signature is missing. I think
I'm
you and I, Mark, adopted this last time on our own, didn't we? Did we not have a third commissioner?
Yeah, that could have been.
Yep,
that
I think
could have been it.
Yeah, I think Harry was already gone, so I think it was Mark. That's why he's missing.
I think it's a
If
cut and
it
paste.
works,
Yep.
I can just add my signature to the bottom of
You
the
just-
page.
Perfect. And then just write your name underneath it. We'll be good to go.
You got it. Very good.
Yep. Jenny's giving me the thumbs up. So
Okay, so we're ready for a motion, right? All right, I move that we adopt resolution 2022-08, the schedule for our district meetings or our commissioners meetings next year.
I'll second that motion.
So it was moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2022-08, which is a resolution of the Board of Fire Commissioners of Whatcom County Fire Protection District number 4 to establish the 2023 meeting dates. And it would be resolved. Sorry,
No, I just said thank you. I forgot to read it.
you're all good. And it would be further resolved that those meetings would be January 16th, March 13th, May 15th, July 17th, September 18th, November 13th, February 13th, April 7th, June 12th, August 14th, October 16th, and December 11th. Is there any other discussion on that?
April 17th, just to be crystal clear for the record, but that's okay.
Thanks. If I misspoke, thank you.
Yes, I'm here to help.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the motion pass for resolution 2022-08. Okay.
just as we try to get we're trying to get a way for you all to stream your meetings so that it can be done at Station 12, so that we could have a public meeting, a more public meeting. And Commissioner Ansel wanted me to offer, if it takes some time to get that up and running, you're welcome to use Station 61, which is conveniently located in Blaine. If you wanted to have a meeting where a community meeting, but he just wanted me to offer that.
Chief, is that a matter of just getting some hardware connectivity into the Station 12?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It's I'm a buy once, cry once guy. We could whip something together really quick that would be grossly incorrect, or we could do it right, and I'm trying to get it done right. I'm trying to get the county to pay for it, to be honest with you, as part of EMS money and not use any District 4 money. So there's extra layers of bureaucracy in there.
I seem to remember once you were going to try to tap into the Bellingham Fire Department as well to sort of outfit the training room. Is that become a non-starter?
No, it did. It works. It's just it turns out that the county pays for all the medic training. So since they do all the medic training there, Bellingham said, sure, we'd be happy to endorse the county paying for it. So I didn't go to the right money pit.
Okay.
So
that's fair. Any correspondence?
just there's one piece of correspondence at the end. it regards to BLS transport fees. Last year, the district passed a resolution that allows for automatic increases based on what the other districts in the county are doing. And so this is just a routine. It's just letting you know that cost for a BLS transport is going up to $790 from $725. And the mileage rate is going from $17 a mile to $19 a mile based on inflation. And these are all just, these calculations are all done based on inflation. So every other district in the county is charging the same thing for BLS transport and the same thing for mileage. So.
All right.
Okay. Hey, sorry to go
So that
back.
was the last sheet in our packet then, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, it looked like quite a jump from inflation this past year.
Yes, it is.
Hey, sorry to go backwards, but another item under new business. I'd like to just throw out there that in January, we might be prepared to talk about just board assignments. And if anybody had an interest in chairing the board, I'd be happy to, rotate out. I would just suggest that if you want to take that on, that you're somewhat familiar with Robert's Rules of Order and understand just the sequence of motions and what might be considered something that's out of order that might happen in a meeting, and just how to handle different ways to vote depending on what it is that is in front of us. There's a lot of rules about limiting discussion. Essentially, Robert's Rules of Order is, it guides us, and it's a way to encourage and promote participation, both amongst commissioners and anybody in the public that might want to participate as well. So, yeah, just throwing that out there. I'd be happy to rotate out, but just be prepared of what you might be getting yourself into. But we can talk about that more next month.
Mark, are you aware, is there any guidelines about length of terms for different board assignments? Pretty much up to us to go at annually then?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so so speaking of the January meeting, I guess that takes us to making sure that January 16th, still a good date for everybody. Yeah. Any conflicts?
No, that's good.
Okay, Jay, does that matter?
Great.
Holiday.
And do we want to see anything specific on the agenda for January?
Just the board elections would be the only.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else?
No.
Jason, anybody joining lately? Want to sneak in a public comment or anything?
No, sir. Let me double check my email real quick here. Nope.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jason, to you and your staff for all the work you put into this meeting, all the budget stuff, the resolutions. I don't want to gloss over the fact that that's a ton of work to make it so easy on myself and the others. So really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Second that.
Yep. Welcome.
All right. Well,